Manchester City have been charged by the Premier League for breaching numerous financial fair play rules.
Hi everyone and welcome to Red Dog Gamer. You've all seen the news regarding Manchester City and the charges relating to overspending over a period of time. In this special one-off Football Manager video, I simulate what would happen if the worst was to happen and they were relegated to the bottom of the Football League pyramid. Keep watching as I show their progress over several seasons. Would they restore their Premier League status? Would they keep hold of their prized assets? Remember, if you enjoyed this video, drop it a like and subscribe to my channel, Red Dog Gamer. First up was League 2, and Man City negotiated this with no problem, amassing 128 points and only drawing 5 matches in the process. Interestingly, all those draws came away from home. As you can see, Crawley, Crewe, Newport County, Grimsby and Stockport all taking a point off Man City. As you can see here, many records were broken in that first season, with Man City amassing the most points of 128. They also had the highest attendance with 53,400. And they also had the longest unbeaten run, going the full season unbeaten 46 matches. Astonishingly, Man City also won their first Champions League title whilst in League 2, along with the Carabao Cup. Looking at the individual honours, and Will Randall of Sutton was the Player of the Year. And Harry Lewis of Bradford City had the most clean sheets and won the Golden Glove in the process. Manager of the Year was Wayne Brown of Crawley. The Team of the Year featured 4 Man City players, with Julian Alvarez, Calvin Phillips, Cole Palmer and Rico Lewis all featuring. Surprisingly, Julian Alvarez was the league's top goal scorer with just 16 goals. In terms of transfer activity in that first season, perhaps the most surprising was Ilkay Gundogan going to Liverpool for 12 million. It was now time to simulate League 1 and see if Man City could continue this positive momentum. And again, as you can see, Man City were again champions, this time amassing 112 points, drawing 5 games against QPR, Bristol Rovers, Crawley, Barnsley and Coventry, again all away from home, and only losing 1 game this time out, that being against Bradford City away from home, 2-1. It was another record-breaking season for Man City, with the most points in a season being 125, the highest attendance again, most league wins in a season of 40, the most team goals of 112, and the most matches won in a row being 22. Looking at the individual honours again, and Josh McGuinness of Barnsley was the league's top goal scorer with 18 goals from 44 appearances. Man City's own Ederson won the Golden Glove for League 1 with 24 clean sheets from 31 appearances and only conceding 7 goals. Manager of the Year this time was Barnsley's Paunovic, and Phil Foden won Player of the Year with 34 appearances, and in those 34 appearances, 15 goals and 14 assists with an average rating of 7.84. There was a good contingent of Man City players in the Team of the Year, with Phil Foden, Herrera, Kevin De Bruyne, Harwood Bellis and Ederson all featuring. As you can see from this screen, Pep Guardiola still in charge, Kevin De Bruyne captain and John Stones still vice captain. It was a much busier year in terms of transfer activity, particularly on the out front, with Man City selling players amassing 129 million in fees, and some big names in there included Ruben Diaz, Akanji, Julian Alvarez, to name a few. There was only one player incoming, with Leonardo Leao from Arsenal for 4.5 million. It was now time to move on and to grace the Championship, and a chance to get back to the top flight of English football. As you can see, Man City stormed the title yet again, pipping Everton and Middlesbrough to first place. Man City dropped points in 10 games in the Championship, with 7 draws and 3 defeats, the 3 defeats coming against Sheffield Wednesday, Everton and Huddersfield. Again, Ederson picked up the Golden Glove with 23 clean sheets from 39 matches and only conceding 19 goals. The Manager of the Year was Michael Carrick of Middlesbrough. The Player of the Year was Bernardo Silva of Man City, with 39 appearances and amassing 16 goals and 14 assists with an average rating of 7.62. There were 4 Man City players in the Championship Team of the Year, with Haaland, Bernardo Silva, Laporte and Ederson all featuring. The top goal scorer in the Championship was Forest's own Chris Wood, of 33 now years of age, scoring 29 goals in 44 matches. Erling Haaland was third placed in the scoring charts. Youngster Matis Tel, who Man City had signed this season, was the Young Player of the Year. And again, no change to the club hierarchy, with Pep, De Bruyne and Stones all in place. In terms of transfer activity, a much busier one in terms of transfers in and spending 179 million. Perhaps the most recognisable player to actually leave was Riyad Mahrez, who moved to Brentford. So now they was back in the Premier League, it was time for the bigger. How would they compete against the big boys again? And yes, you've guessed it, in their first season back in the top flight, Man City were champions on 85 points. They drew 7 matches, some of those against Liverpool, Arsenal and Manchester United, and they lost 5 games, with Leicester unfortunately doing the double over Man City, but also one of those against Arsenal. Aaron Ramsdale of Arsenal won the Golden Glove Award. And Mo Salah was the Footballer of the Year. And Pep Guardiola of Man City won Manager of the Year with a win ratio of 68%. Mo Salah seemed to have monopolised the Players' Player of the Year, winning it consistently for about the last 5 years, and there were 6 Man City players in the Team of the Season in the Premier League, with Haaland, Grealish, De Bruyne, Cancelo, Laporte and John Stones all in there. The Young Player of the Season was Gavi of Liverpool. And Haaland of Man City won the top goal scorer award with 18 goals and 3 assists in 32 games. It was a much busier year in terms of players leaving the club, however perhaps less recognisable in terms of their name and stature. But when you look at the transfers in, one in particular, 74 million for Alexis Saelemaekers from PSG, sorry if I've not pronounced that right. But anyway, it's time for the overall Roll of Honour. What have Man City actually won in the past 4 seasons since being relegated to League 2? In 4 years then, Manchester City had won 2 Champions League titles, 1 Europa League, 2 UEFA Super Cup, 1 FA Cup, 2 Carabao Cups, 1 Club World Championship, the Premier League, Championship, Leagues 1 and 2, and the coveted Papa John's Trophy. You could make a case to say that relegation gave Man City their greatest success with the European exploits. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this Football Manager experiment, and thank you all for watching.